All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gridiron Uncensored podcast with the usual crew. It's Trevor, Blake, and myself, Brendan. And we got a good episode tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Shit hit the fan. Things are happening in college football, craziness going down, chaos everywhere. Florida is bowl eligible. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Michigan finally got there. A couple teams at Kent State, you're 0-11. God help you. A couple other things going down. So we're going to talk about all that here. We're going to go over conference breakdowns, and we're gonna, I can't see the comment thing, I guess, Kirk, but either way, we're going to go through all the conferences. We're going to talk a little bit about our gridlocks, our pick'ems, and also team and player of the week. So let's get right into it. I screwed up back in March, and again, this was before season previews. So I said, I felt really bad about Graham Mertz at the time because people were leaving Florida like it was, I don't know, like it was shit on a goose or something like that. Whatever. What's they even say? Shit through a tin horn. Shit through a goose. But either way, so people were, they were all about Florida. They were collapsing. It was the biggest collapse you ever seen, except for recently. But then things started to change for Florida, and we did our season preview, and we were like, hey, this is actually a solid team, but their schedule's tough. I don't know if they'll get the 6 wins. Well, sure enough, they got the 6 wins against Ole Miss, and LOL at Ole Miss. You spend all that money in the postseason or in the preseason, and what's it getting you? So yeah, either way, I said I feel bad for Graham Mertz if they make a bowl game, I'm gonna have to eat a lemon. So sure enough, they ate a lemon.
Screen record now, everybody. Yeah. Screen record now.
Yeah, and listen, this was in March, so don't fry me for it. But I did feel bad for him, and the Florida fans found it. They called me out on Twitter, so I have to eat it. I was hoping it would go, unnoticed, but either way, I peeled it. I got the peels right here. I don't know if I'm supposed to eat them or just like,
Well, that depends on how all in you want to go, I suppose.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start eating it. I don't know how long this will take me. Try not to be too messy, but
I'm here for it.
I got all over my note. Awesome. Oh yeah. That's You want that? You want more?
Do it again. He says, do it again. Do that again.
I haven't seen that action in years. Oh my gosh, that's something. I think I ate a seed. Can't record. I have a flip phone. Look at the comments. Oh, we're gonna fry it. Thanks, Barbara. We appreciate it. I'm just gonna stuff it in my cheeks like a chipmunk.
There you go, buddy. Good job.
Yeah. That's something.
This is good.
And I love lemons.
Right here.
This is probably bad.
This is a good podcast right here.
You said use your tongue. There's a little hard going down. Boys.
Oh my god!
If you hear a vacuum, that's my Roomba. Thanks, babe.
Yes, onlylemons.com.
Subscribe now.
It.
More toes. Where's the toes at, boys?
Toes? Wait, what?
I'm sorry, disregard. Wrong channel, wrong page. God dang. I think I have GERD, so this isn't going to be good for that. Really upsetting my my esophagus.
Woo!
God dang, boy. That takes a minute to go down. Give us a wink.
That's what she said.
Oh, you like that? I'll tell you what, that white part on the outside of the lemon is pretty. That's pretty rough.
God bless.
Ugh.
All right.
Okay, I got that one. I hope you guys are enjoying this.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, this is the football podcast, folks. We will get there.
That's right. We're done.
We will get there.
Look, that's the last part. I'm not eating the rice. You go to hell.
Oh, man.
You can go to hell. I'm staying in Texas. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, man.
All right, boys. She's going down.
Is she now?
Say something so I can finish this goddamn. At least there was a trend going on Twitter where people were there's that, if so-and-so happens, I'll eat a dog shit out of a red Solo cup. I didn't do that. We're not doing that.
Yeah. You
You
got
can't
know
say
your audience,
anything.
and they will keep the receipts.
Oh, they will.
They will
do.
hold you to it.
Know your audience
All right.
for sure.
Well, that was definitely something. And listen, I'm a lemon fan. I'm gonna chase that down with the glass of a little Templeton Midnight Rye. That's good stuff.
There you go.
That makes it all better right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thanks
Very
for
proud.
telling me to put a seat in the Rye. But I'll try to eat one of them, okay?
No, it's
no,
not happening.
Oh shit.
no, no. That's the initial taste is a little bit of the one time I smoked marijuana back in high school. But hold on, what? I mean, the FBI is coming to my door. I'm kidding. But either way, let's get to some
All right.
football.
Let's talk about the gridlocks. Let's talk about the gridlocks for the week 13.
Yeah, boys.
Brendan took the L for
Finally.
Pitt. For Pitt.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Took
I
another
can't believe
L.
it, but Blake picked Auburn and he got that one.
I know the one I win on the season is
No,
Auburn.
I want credit for the Auburn shit. All right, I want credit for it.
No, you don't.
Listen.
No way. No
Listen.
way. You don't get credit for that shit.
In fairness,
I wanted to pick them.
If
I
we
wanted
had
You
pick
wanted to
deep,
pick them, didn't you? Could have picked them.
Well, I said so
If
that
you
we're
picked
not
them.
all three picking them and jinxing it.
Yep.
So
If
I
Brendan
took one
picked
for the
them,
team.
A&M wins that game.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's happened all season.
Oh, God dang. But no, for real, that was a great pick on the gridlock.
I think mine was better, but I'm just saying.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Florida one's great too. But it's again, you can tell with the SEC this year that these top teams all have issues, and they can all be taken down by pretty much anybody. Bama, Ole Miss, Tennessee feels that way to me as well. Look at Texas A&M. They've got issues at quarterback. I think Reed's not bad, but he's not. I don't think he's the elite guy that maybe people made him out to be after the LSU game. And then defensively too, there's issues out there. Pitt, I don't know. I thought they had something in them. They got fried. They're done. They're cooked. So yeah, horrible pick on me, but I was able to take a little flyer because I'm up there in points, and I think Trevor's actually catch me with that last one.
I really hope so.
We'll go over all the numbers and stuff at the end of the episode when we talk gridlock, pick'ems, and all that. Right now, we're going to do a little bit of the conference rundowns. We've got 13 in here, so that's pretty solid. We'll just we'll run through. I go group of 5, ACC, Big 12, and then we'll talk Big 10, SEC, and we'll do a little bit more of the like you said, administrative stuff towards the end. Group 5 stuff straight off the bat. We'll talk about this gentleman later, but Buffalo had a nice win against Eastern Michigan. Really nice defensive performance there. Kent State, like I said, 0-11, boys. That is brutal. I'm sorry. Akron beat you. God help you. I don't want to say it's time to shut down the program, but it's getting close. Same with Temple. Ohio, 6-1 in the MAC. They beat Toledo. UNLV's climbing up. They're up in the top 25 of the AP poll. Curious to see where they're going to be ranked in the college football playoff rankings. They said right now, they're 9-2, 5-1 in the Mountain West. So, again, I think you could still see a matchup there with Boise State in the conference championship. Boise kind of had a tight one against Wyoming, but Wyoming's always a funky team to play, man.
Yeah.
In Laramie, I don't mess with that shit. No, don't do it. Outside of that, kind of solid performances out there. Jacksonville State, 7-0 in the Conference Conference USA. They took down Sam Houston, and then Bowling Green looking at 6-1 in the MAC. Some other games out there, but we're going to move on to the ACC and talk about this crazy conference. I don't know. It's a mess to me. I love SMU, what they're doing. They're sitting at 10-1, 7-0 in the conference. They smoked Virginia. And really, guys, this is the team that I think that can contend for the ACC title. I feel like they're on a roll right now. Miami was close early against Wake Forest, but they pulled that one out. Georgia Tech knocked down NC State. Clemson played the Citadel. Feel bad for the Citadel taking that one, 51-14. Clemson still hanging in there. ACC hopes. Again, all these teams are going to have massive issues. I say teams, all these conferences with these tiebreakers. Really curious to see how it's all going to go down because there's a logjam at the top. of the ACC and the Big 12 and the SEC. So it's kind of a mess. North Carolina goes down to Boston College 41-21, and Mack Brown says he's probably staying for another year. What do you guys think about that? I don't know.
I swear, I
I'd
don't
want him
understand
gone.
why he still is coaching. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
I just look. I know what
He is
he's
literally
doing
living
solid
still.
there,
He's
but
still
it's
living
not-
off of Vince Young. That motherfucker is still living off of Vince Young.
Oh
He is a
my
lot
God.
like Uncle
Good
Rico
God.
from Napoleon Dynamite. Like he still to this day talks about McCoy. McCoy goes down. We don't lose that game against Bama.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
can't let that go.
yeah. I don't see how he's
Guy
still hanging
is-
there. But
I
hey,
mean,
Matt,
I
Brown,
like
the guy.
I appreciate that you love him, but you are absolutely right. The game has most certainly
Yep.
passed him by.
I mean, at UNC, I feel like maybe when we were growing up, 2000s, like this team was something you could almost count on in the ACC, but I just feel like for so long they've just kind of been just meh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. Let's move on. They bore me. All right, we're moving on. California, Stanford, weird game. Stanford's, last week they had a big upset over Louisville. And now they go and almost take down California, which was a team in preseason that we thought was actually going to be pretty solid. They're sitting at 6-5. So I don't know what's happening with them. Louisville did get a win against Pitt, like I mentioned. They're 37-9, and then Duke 8-3. That was a team that we said preseason. We didn't really know how that was going to happen, how it was going to work out with Manny Diaz. But I mean, they're 30. I mean, they're 8-3. They won 31-28 against Virginia Tech, who was a team that everybody thought was going to be something this year. So just an interesting time in the ACC and really just the football season in general. Gents, anything about the ACC in these games before we jump on to the Big
A bunch
12?
of vomit teams is what they are.
Vomit. Hey, this
Bunch
whole
of
season
puke.
just
Puke
absolutely
everywhere. in the
bonkers, man.
ACC.
Oh my God. Trey Colton. Hey, all right, let's go talk about the Big 12. And this is, to me, the most fun conference just because, well, one, Kansas is coming out. I know Colton's going to hate to hear it, but Kansas is hot right now, boys. They are
hot
big,
to
they
trot.
are leading, they're killing the leaders of the Big 12 weekly at this time. And we'll talk about Arizona State creeping on up. They're one loss to, I know they've got two losses, but the one loss when the quarterback Levitt was out. Wipe it away. I don't care. Wipe it away. Look at what they're doing right now. They're 9-2, 6-2 in the Big 12. Just took down BYU, who's now on a 2-game skid. I like this Arizona State team. I like Scattaboo. I like that dude at running back. I want to see them in the playoffs. And no, it's not just because I'm using them on NCAA, or excuse me, College Football 25. Boys, what do you think about Arizona State and taking down
I'm a
BYU?
fan.
I think it's a good hell of a win.
I was
I don't
kind
know.
of lost on BYU myself.
Yeah.
I thought they was a little overhyped throughout the season. And Arizona State, I'm with you. The quarterback going down, getting that loss.
Yeah.
That I mean, it definitely changed the team's dynamic in that isolated game. But the rest of the season, they've played really well, especially running the ball.
Yeah. And I mean, look, like I'll say, you still have to count it. It obviously matters. I'm joking about the
Yeah.
wiping away, but it's good to see what they're doing with Levitt being back in.
Right.
Next game up, Kansas, Colorado. Colorado, just when everybody started getting back on that train a little bit, like, okay, well, they're going to have a Heisman winner, boys. He's winning
Yeah.
it. They're going to the playoffs. They get spanked by Devin Neal in Kansas. Devin Neal went off, boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
He went absolutely off. Colorado had no answer, just like their run game last year was trash. Any thoughts on this?
Shut them
this game?
Sanders boys up properly. I love
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Kansas, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. What people thought they would do. Finally, I know they're more healthy
A
now.
little too late, but whatever.
They got to get a bowl, and I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get it, but I mean, they're one game out from going bowling. So, Colorado, what do you think about them? What do you think about the Heisman talk about
No.
Travis Hunter? Not feeling it?
Travis. Well, look. Here's the thing: is Travis Hunter's a very unique player, granted, but his mouth is going to run him right out of the Heisman.
Yeah.
there will be a way that he runs his mouth so much that he just won't get the Heisman. And then
I
the
think
Sanders
he'll,
people will all just go cry like a little bunch of bitches. And like just he should have won the Heisman. It should have been the Colorado Heisman, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. No one really cares about anything that those people say.
Well,
Hey.
he is a very dynamic player, but like
Mhm.
I said the other day in our chat, he's not even top 15 receiving. Same thing on the defensive side. I mean, he's a great player, but he doesn't, to me, he does not measure up. He's like the Johnny Manziel, but even though Johnny Manziel was a great player, the attitude and like I just feel like there's more to that trophy, and he doesn't have
Boise's
that kind
running
of
back has a
character.
better shot than him.
I agree.
Hands down.
I think he's the guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Travis Hunter.
Yep.
But I think Genty's the guy.
I mean, I think there's a chance where Ewers might squeeze his happy little white butt in there.
I don't know if Ewers will make it in. I need to pull up the odds real quick, but I think
I
right
thought
now Hunter is
Isn't Ewers
leading.
out?
Yeah, so that's the latest thing. We can talk about it, more once we get there. But yeah, the word on the street is that Ewers is going to be out, I think, with an ankle injury, and it's looking like
never
old
mind.
Arch
He's
Manning's going to step in.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Manning for Heisman, go.
Yeah.
But
So
I do want to point out before we get off Colorado, the play of the game was actually from Colorado. Even though Devin Neal it was a highlight reel of that game. Shedeur Sanders attacking the official.
Yeah.
I have heard that he is calling out Jake Paul and Logan Paul. He says he can help them make pay-per-views. So we'll see.
I mean,
see if that comes to fruition.
That would bring up some money. I mean, it'd be a worse fight than what old Tyson put up. Got the odds real quick as we're talking about Heisman in our little sidebar here. Travis Hunter is currently leading. This was as of yesterday, minus 1,000. He's the heads in a way leader right now per betting odds. Jonty's right behind him at plus 750. Cam Ward plus 1,200. Dylan Gabriel at plus 66. Quinn Ewers was back at plus 50. I don't know where they get these numbers. I'm not a betting person except for that one time when I had a failing grade in college and I talked to the professor and we finagled some shit and I won and I got a B in the final. That's maybe a story for another time. But either way, Mom, sorry. Either way, let's talk some more about the Big 12 here. Iowa State got past Utah. That was a little bit closer than I was expecting it to be. But like I told those guys on the cruise ship, bet against Utah, boys. Bet against them. I hope they made some money if you're listening. TCU went out 49-28 against Arizona. God, Arizona's fallen off big time. Texas Tech went out 56-48 against Oklahoma State. I mean, just it's a Big 12, man. That's what happens. West Virginia take down UCF. Baylor, they're kind of on a run, 20-10 against Houston. And then Kansas State, the old mangy cats, 41-15 against Cincinnati. Boys, that's all I got for the Big 12. Anything on those before we move on?
Into the Big 10, and then
let's jump in it.
The SEC can wrap it up. All right. So, really, there's really not much to talk about, frankly, because it was chalk for most of the Big 10. I think me personally, I think Nebraska taking it to Wisconsin was phenomenal. 40. They took it. They literally took it to them. 40. The final score was 44-25. I mean, what was the line?
They wanted that bowl game.
I was just
bro.
looking at it. God dang it. Hang on. Sorry.
They wanted that bowl game.
Raiola went 28 for 38, 293 yards and a touchdown. Johnson 16 carries, 113 yards. So I mean, they were doing what they wanted to Wisconsin, and it wasn't nice. So they did good. Ohio State, really the score isn't indicative of the way Ohio State Indiana went. Ohio State dominated that game from the second quarter on. The first quarter, Indiana kind of punched them in the mouth right out the gate, and then it was all Ohio State from then on out. see, Illinois, Rutgers. That was actually a really good game. That almost turned out to be really bad for Illinois.
Yeah.
Iowa kind of did what I thought they would do, but yeah, I thought Maryland would have a little bit better showing against Iowa. Penn State, you're a joke. You're a damn joke.
No love
It is
for
a
Penn
disgrace
State.
you are in the top 5. You literally should have lost to Minnesota.
They should have.
They should have lost. Minnesota once again gave them back that game.
Minnesota is a team. I don't think they're as bad as their record suggests.
No, not
to
at
be
all.
honest with
Not
you.
at all.
Yep.
They just don't know how to finish. They can't finish.
They've played close games.
Yeah.
They have.
I think I can count off the top of my head 3 close games that they had that if they just, one play here or there, that would have been the game.
Yeah.
Or one less mistake. I mean, shoot, they've been having turnover problems all season long. Let's see here. What other one? Michigan State, congratulations. You nearly lost to Purdue. Like you should have probably lost to Purdue. USC, you suck. You literally go back to Pac-12 land. Like seriously, you're terrible.
What do you? I mean,
go create the Pac-12 back over in Cali. Like, you're terrible.
Honestly, they probably wish they would. And listen, we said in the preseason, USC, you're probably going to have a tough season this year. However, it was a good.
They're having a tough season against former Pac-12 teams.
Yeah, I just USC's
God
got a lot to figure out.
God
man.
bless. So yeah, so after those, that's pretty much. I mean, the games were the games. Penn State sucks. USC sucks. Illinois is kind of overrated in my opinion. Ohio State, I hate you. But you're still a really good team. That's my recap.
Hey.
Sorry. Michigan. Thank you for figuring out an offense against the worst team in the fucking is the worst team in the damn Big Ten. Sorry. My bad.
You're good, dude.
I'm emotional. I'm emotional.
This is the
Northwestern's terrible. So I mean, but they still gave up 6 points. I think that was, if I remember correctly, it was 2 field goals. But it took them until the second half to really start putting up points. So Sharon Moore, do better.
When I look at the big game, really the Indiana Ohio State game, obviously Ohio State had their way. The game was over after the special teams issues. But I thought really the first quarter was a great showing, and Indiana had it, but then it was like the moment was too big for certain people, and then like you drop the punt, you give them a free touchdown. You can't do that against Ohio State. You can't do that against top teams. So I still think that Indiana might make the playoffs. I don't know how far back they're, it's really going to drop them. But if they make the playoffs, they got to figure that shit out because there's no need for those types of miscues. 2 times you let special teams get the best of you, and then all your momentum's gone. You get no chance, and you're on the road. What do you expecting to happen? So that's my thoughts on it. Michigan, good win before Ohio State. Blake, anything in the Big Ten?
I agree with exactly what you said about Indiana. I don't think they're that bad as a team, but just the miscues they had were, detrimental.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, the standings are what they kind of are. Kind of Penn State and Indiana are right there. Illinois somehow is managing in the fifth slot. So, I don't see – it's really a 4-team race at this point to go to the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
And I don't see Oregon losing, to be perfectly honest, this week. So this upcoming week,
And I'm curious what the tiebreakers are because, Indiana didn't. I know they have the loss against Ohio State in the head-to-head. I get maybe it wouldn't matter. It probably wouldn't matter then.
It's not going to matter if Ohio State wins. It will matter significantly
if all hell breaks loose.
If all hell breaks loose and Michigan somehow pulls the never mind. If they figure out a way to stifle the wide receivers, I think Michigan might No, they won't. It's
No,
okay.
I don't know. Well, I got to sleep on that shit before I go any further with Michigan.
I don't. That's okay.
Yeah, they're
I've
hoes. Either
accepted
way,
the fate of me.
let's Blake. Anything else on the Big Ten before we jump over the SEC? Because this is
good.
where stuff gets even more interesting.
Yep.
It's like Big 12 level interesting right now.
Well,
Hit it with us, bro.
you mentioned like hell breaking loose in the conference. That's what happened with SEC Saturday, starting with Florida over Ole Miss. Jackson Dart's fourth quarter performance. My God, he should be on suicide watch. I mean, he was crying on the. He should be. I mean, he's on sidelines crying his eyes out. He throws the pick. He gets called back. He gets another chance. Throws it again. I mean, Kiffin's over there riffing. Oh, it was rough. It was a rough game.
And they say college football 25 is unrealistic. Okay,
right. But like,
who knew they tailored it around Jackson Dart's performance?
Yeah, these lemons.
Well,
look how red my face is. God,
your face is really red. I was like,
maybe I'm allergic. Sorry, Blake. You're doing a great job.
No, Florida's a different team with Lagway on the field offensively. I mean, there's no denying that. Trevor,
I agree. But what is
you might need to take a Benadryl. Like,
I'm having an allergic reaction. Look at my face.
You're looking rough.
I need to get you a red little hat and a white beard.
Oh my!
You're good,
down
bro.
My chest.
Oh my God! Right. Is it chest? Your chest is getting red too?
Yeah, you can't see it through the hair, but it's
I can see it through the hair. It's red.
It's all good. I'll call my nurse here shortly. She was in the next room.
Yeah.
But either way, Blake, I agree with you what you're saying about Florida.
Yeah, Ole Miss just couldn't get Florida off the field, and they just kept giving them opportunity after opportunity at the end of the game. Florida giving Ole Miss opportunities to get back in it late there in the fourth quarter. Just the defense finally sealed it on that last drive, but it's like, the last 10 minutes of that game, you're just waiting on Ole Miss to come back. But I mean, Lagway, he went 10 of 17 for 180, 2 touchdowns and a pick. What really hurt Ole Miss was the rushing. Jackson Dart, 71 yards rushing, leading the team. That's just not. We've talked about that before. Like when your quarterback's your leading rusher and you're not putting points up, you're just not going to make it. Other SEC games, Georgia and Massachusetts, wash 59-21. Tennessee, UTEP, not even worth.
I'll say that first half though for Georgia, they had some pucker factor going on.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't never think it was in question.
I know, but it's like, God bless, man. What the hell is going on?
They're slow to get going, but I mean, I still think they're a talented team. I don't know what Beck's deal is. I don't know if it's lack of options at receiver and he's just struggling, but
I feel like his accuracy has gone. Like, I mean,
he's not
even though his
targets
aren't what they were last year. I'm still noticing that his accuracy has been way off. His footwork has been off. It just doesn't seem like he's very comfortable in the pocket this year at all.
Yeah, I think it's that girl in his life, man, is ruining him. It happens to the worst of you. But yeah, sorry, Blake. Go ahead. We're done with Georgia. They beat the Minutemen.
I'm surprised it took people that long to realize I raised my pinky. I do it all the time. But
you learned that from SpongeBob?
Pinky it's just I try to be elegant. Elbows off the table.
That's as far as I can bend mine.
No one's been more elegant.
You're a joke.
I am.
But
I'm surprised my wife hasn't left me for it. Either way, carry on. Sorry, Dana.
Love Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt could not pull it off against LSU. They had a chance, couldn't do it. LSU, the Fire Kelly chance erupting in the game that they won.
The memes are out of control.
I love it. And we've got some good ones coming up.
We do have some good ones.
But, the game of the week, obviously, is Oklahoma taking down Alabama in such a brutal fashion. And I honestly didn't even get that mad because I expected it. I could tell after the first quarter when Milroe, nobody was catching balls.
Mhm.
Milroe, highly inaccurate, highly inept, very low IQ individual. He's just not. He's not a good quarterback. He's not. He's not a good quarterback at all.
Oh, man.
It's awful. And a lot of people I know blame offensive coordinator, head coach. I'm part of that team as well. Milroe shouldn't be on the field, but he is. And I don't agree that he's our best option because we don't. I know you can say it till you're blue in the face. I'm not at practice. We don't see what they blah 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 blah. Well, I know by the grace of God, there's a quarterback on that team somewhere that can throw a football and hit somebody in stride.
Yeah.
And he just can't do it. If he has 8 to 10 seconds to sit in the pocket and somebody get wide open, he might can underthrow them slightly. But if you task him with standing in the pocket, stepping up, and making a dime, it's not going to happen because he can't do it. He showed it time and time again. The only top team he's done it against is Georgia. Every other top team he's played, we've lost. Texas, Michigan. I mean, he cannot win the big games. And the teams that beat Alabama are the teams that run the football and make Jalen Milroe pass.
Yeah.
It's happened. Michigan did it. Texas did it last year. Vanderbilt did it. And I mean, it's a proven method to beat Jalen Milroe. He is not going to beat you with his brain or his arm. And that is on coaching,
Yeah.
But I mean, I also understand. I see a lot of people talking about why are we just running the quarterback runs left, right? I mean, it's very predictable. But if they're going to leave Milroe in, their hands are tied too. I'm sure the offensive coordinator is sitting up there like, well, I'd love to throw a pass, but my quarterback can't throw a pass. So I'm going to have to run it up the middle 19 times. And it was just a very poor game plan. There was no adjustments at the end. Oklahoma, I mean, they ran a Vanderbilt-style offense in that game. The shovel passes, they watched film, and they seen exactly what tore our defense apart. And, I mean, they executed it to perfection. It was a flawless offensive out for Oklahoma. And defensively, I mean, it looked like Milroe was pressured a lot, and he was, but he still had time in that pocket to step up and throw the ball. It's not like it was 1 second and he's on the ground. And, I mean, the times he does step in the pocket, we had 7 dropped balls, I believe. I mean, there was just everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I blame Milroe and the coaching staff for allowing him to take the field as quarterback.
Yeah. When it comes down to Milroe, we've all said it, and I know people don't like to hear it necessarily, but it's just sometimes the facts are there, and it's just it's the same old shit almost every time. Now, look, I think he's good enough to win you a lot of games, and he's good enough to have that chaos, that danger where he can get loose and break a game open for you. The first time that we really saw him burst on the national scene was against Arkansas, and it was a very tight game, and he blew one wide open, ended up winning the game. He can do that, but at the same time, like you said, Blake, if they lock down that run game, if they really cue on it and make that as their focal point of the defense, they can shut Milroe down. And he has issues standing in the pocket too long. Advanced stats show that as well, that he forces pressure on himself somewhat more than others. It's gotten a little bit better this year, surprisingly. But the sack rate is still there when he is pressured. So
Yeah.
it's just something I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
I felt, I don't know, when I was watching the game, and I said it out loud to the person I was watching it with, and it just seems like they had the same exact game plan that they had the game before.
Yep.
There was no adjustments. It doesn't appear, to me at least, an outside point of view looking in, because I only watched a little bit of the previous week's game. But what I did watch, it looked the exact same. It was just like Milroe heavy, maybe a little Ryan Williams, instead of the opposite, where you have 2 really good running backs. You have a phenomenal receiving core, actually.
Yeah.
Why not do mesh rail? Why not just crisscross these guys and just have them just use the speed that they got? Because honestly, I honestly didn't think Auburn would be able to hang, or not. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Easy, Elkos.
Yeah, Elko over here. I've got Texas on my. I mean Auburn on my. I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh god. Anyway, I didn't think that they would be able to hang with them at all.
Yeah,
And they didn't. They really didn't. Once the receivers got going, they weren't really able to hang with Ryan Williams, especially when he was doing those deep crossers. He was just pulling away from those DBs. Like it was embarrassing.
The problem is we don't have a quarterback that can get the ball to them accurate. He cannot dart it in the zones and stuff.
Yes, I would say that's partially true, but you guys have a massive O-line problem.
Yeah.
Massive
on the right side
O-line
especially. Pritchett really struggles.
Just looking at the comment, Kurt, goddamn. Like, I agree. Bama's got issues. I don't know how they're going to do with the Iron Bowl, especially the way Auburn came back last week. I mean, it's a dangerous game for Bama. I mean, I don't know. We'll talk more about that, obviously, in the Week 14 preview. That should be probably tomorrow. But let's talk a couple other ones. We talked Auburn, Texas A&M, right? Did we mention that? What a comeback from Auburn. It was just, I don't know, man. Just a wild game. Blake, what do you think on that?
I mean, I said it. Auburn quietly has one of the they've got a really good defense, and their offense has come on. They've got Coleman going, Peyton Thorne. He's still not perfect by any means at all, but he's playing more of that game manager top role now, and he was fairly trustworthy with the football. I mean, I'd take him over Milroe right now. I would trade in a heartbeat.
I believe the statement I just put into our chat is that I believe Auburn is the most improved team in the SEC to date.
Ooh,
I would say Florida.
I disagree. I think, don't get me wrong, I think Florida's playing good, but Florida was kind of playing that way. But Auburn took a while to get there, to get to where they're at right now. It's been a progression thing for Auburn more so than Florida. Because Florida already had the athletes and everything. Auburn, I don't know. I guess I kind of felt like Auburn was flying under the radar as far as some of the athletes, some of the players they had. It weren't much talked about. Where Florida, we definitely knew about Lagway. We definitely knew about some other talented pieces that they had. We just weren't sure if they were going to be able to put it together.
Yeah, for Auburn, it's just been a funky year. Peyton Thorne's another one that's like he has moments where he does fine and then others where it's just like very inaccurate, but then he'll use his legs and he'll shock people. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's just strange, but I almost wonder how much of that is also, you know, like a Texas A&M issue defensively. You know, how many times can they give up, you know, points and bad runs and choke it at periods. And I just, it's an interesting year in the SEC across the board. Florida, Auburn, whatever. South Carolina's really come on. I mean, they've turned it up.
Yeah. How about them Vandy boys?
Vandy they're an interesting one too. They'll go out and beat, you know, teams that you think are top notch, and then they go out and lose games they shouldn't. So I don't know, man. Blake, was there anything else on the SEC? I know we kind of got off.
I mean, South Carolina played like Wofford.
Yeah.
There's nothing else really of note to mention.
Archie got that 6 win against Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
Outside of that Florida game, I mean, just good on them. Jackson Dart. People are telling us in the preseason that he's a Heisman guy. No, he's not. I'm sorry. Good quarterback, fine. He can do things, but then he does, you know, he makes bad mistakes too. So that's it on the conference rundown. You want to pull up the pick 'em? We'll talk a little bit about numbers, and then we'll go through our admin stuff and call it a night. Let me pull up the numbers here, boys. Look, there's the pick 'em. I had a rough week. The Army pick wasn't like, okay, I didn't think Army's actually like better than Notre Dame, but it was willing them to victory. You know, it's more indicative that I don't really think Notre Dame's that great compared to what people are saying. And I think that they will get exposed at some point if they get to the playoffs. And I think they will get to the playoffs. Maybe USC will take them down. Who the hell knows? But here's the numbers. I went 5-5 on the week. Trevor and Blake both went 7-3. Total on the season, I'm sitting at 78-46. Trevor is creeping up 70-54. And Blake, 2 behind him at 68-56. So that's the numbers for the pick 'em. And last week, big week here. We'll see what's shifting can go around there. And then gridlock wise, we already had those pulled up, but I'll just give you the numbers. I'm 6-6 on the year. Trevor's 5-7, and Blake 3-9 on the gridlock picks. Rough week on our locks, but or rough season on the locks a little bit. But hey, we're going for points here. It's a point thing. But that's about it, boys. Anything else on this recap? Anything sticking out to you? Do you have any expectations maybe for tomorrow with the top 25? I know we got a preview show coming up, and we'll talk more about that later. But round robin, any last things?
We do have the player of the week, don't we?
Oh yes, player of the week. My apologies. How could I forget?
The whiskey's really getting to you, brother.
Shit, it's a lemon. Whiskey's nothing, man. It's that lemon. Look, I mean, I'm still red. Good Lord.
You are still red. You're a little flushed in the face, my friend.
They did an allergy test on me and did all the grasses and pecans.
They didn't mention lemon.
But
they did not mention lemon.
Yeah. So let's pull up the player and team of the week. Look at it. It's beautiful. This again, fan voted. So we appreciate the comments, the likes, all that stuff. It helps us out a lot.
You can vote on X, Facebook, and I suppose you could probably put in a vote on our YouTube page as well, and just find our most recent one and throw a comment in there.
Yeah. So sorry, I was looking at the comments. Yes, we didn't mention a certain team that will not be named right now. Player of the week. It's a share. It's a tie. We had multiple comments and likes that brought it to that. Devin Neal first, and then Sean Dolak. Devin Neal from Kansas obviously went to town on Colorado, 207, 3 touchdowns. Really nice from him. And then Dolak for Buffalo. It was Eastern Michigan, but still, what a game. 2 interceptions. One was a pick 6, 9 tackles, a sack. I mean, just an all-out game from him. And he was getting all in on the tackle action. So congrats to both these guys on the fan vote. And then the team, Florida, we mentioned them, showed up big. They got the bowl berth. And they also possibly knocked Ole Miss out of playoff contention. And that, to me, is the funniest shit ever because of the portal and the offseason. And, look, I'll talk – if Michigan does this, like, next year and they go off, I'll shit-talk them if they don't make the playoffs. I'll shit-talk any team if they don't make the playoffs. We're not haters. I mean, yeah, we are, but, not just biased.
I was going to say, I'm pretty good at hating. I'm just saying.
All right, maybe we're just haters, but either way. Why is your face red? No, I'm not. Wait, I had one glass of whiskey. It's the lemon, buddy. It's the lemon. We're talking to the people in the comment. And again, for those on Spotify, if you're listening, like, what the hell are these people talking about? Please go watch on YouTube. That helps us out. Yeah. Subscribe.
Watch on YouTube or just join us. Come join us on the live shows. We post everything, so you should know.
What the hell else are you doing? It's Thanksgiving break. But either way, keep an eye out for keep an eye out for the preview show. Probably tomorrow.
We'll be live again. We'll be live again tomorrow to do the preview for the upcoming week. And wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we'll see you guys probably tomorrow. All right. I need to go get some something for my face, I guess. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Lemon. Where's that?